Thank you
Thanks so
very
much.
Yeah.
Well, over the past several weeks, the stock market has been experiencing its fastest loss of over a quarter, and its value, several records certainly have been demolished.
Yeah, kind of watching in shock. We are definitely in uncharted waters, and it's a very volatile and very scary time. Richmond financial expert J.B. Bryant is here to talk about 5 strategies you can take during the market meltdown. And of course, we're trying to keep a little distance here between us for obvious reasons. But you know, we're sitting and watching, and the news flashes on that the markets trip that little circuit breaker, as they call it, stopping
at the top
trading.
of the day. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, you know, it's like people ask me, have you looked at your 401k? And I went, no. No, I don't want to see it.
And it could be because you understand one of the things that I think are very important to acknowledge now, understanding your time horizon. In many situations, people lose sight of why they're investing anyway. If you're about to spend the money in a year or so, then of course, you should not have been in the stock market. The stocks are not for short-term investors. So
Are we talking like 20% drop in some cases, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And we've had such a nice run. You're talking about an 11-year bull market. That is amazing. I mean, with some huge dips, but you know, I've been in the business about 30 years. So when you think of the last 11 of going up, that's been a nice run. And we've talked several times about it's not a matter of if the market goes down, it's when. And so we've been helping everyone remember our discussion about expect the unexpected before any of this happened, about the importance of realizing your time horizon and having an emergency fund for times like this.
And JB, we've, you know, all 3 of us are on different time horizons and have different expectations, and that's sort of the moral of the story.
Yes.
Everyone is unique, but hopefully, I think what I'm hearing you say is that at this juncture, if there was a need to have been spending that in a year or 24 months, you were already in something way more conservative,
Hopefully.
right? So the volatility of
right.
that stock market maybe the impact was slightly lessened. However, for those who were in it whole hog, because you have maybe a longer horizon, it's shocking.
It's shocking, but it's a great opportunity to do another major suggestion at this time is to invest consistently all of the time and use this as an opportunity to keep going forward. There's some people who will say, I'm adding money, but I lost everything I just put in. You know, instead, they should look at how many shares of ownership, how much they actually did purchase, and the price per unit or share may have gone down for you on your statement, but it's not. It's a great time for you to keep your heart in the game, like to continue to realize that you're not going to stop working, or you're not going to need that money until 5 years or 10 years, but at minimum, keep your eyes on the prize of this is for my long-term goals. So I need to consistently what is called dollar cost average, or invest small amounts into this market and actually almost really enjoying the sale that you're getting right now. Because there are a lot of good companies, good mutual funds, good ETFs that are down in price, but their value is higher and better than ever.
You put that in an interesting perspective. There is a positive to that in that they effectively are on sale right now. You get more for your money if you have some money to put in.
That's right. And isn't that good for you, Miss Consumer? You're our consumer advocate. You're the one.
I like saving $1.
Yeah. Like, would you run away from the store if it's having a sale and that same garment that you loved is half price? You know, so look at this as a buying opportunity. If you still have that need for your long-term goals, continue your movement forward.
This can be a very emotional time for a lot of folks for obvious reasons. There's a lot of danger, and we're all trying to be very careful. But we've been through emotional times before, 9/11.
There you go.
And things like that. And this too shall pass. We don't know when yet.
That's right.
But it will pass. And the stock market, like you said, went 11 years going up, which was a little unrealistic to think that would happen.
Really, it was. I mean, we immediately had to think like, is this going to be the year where we lose? Is this the year where it's going down? So a lot of our discussions you may not have realized were about defensive moves, how to protect what you have, how to make sure you're focused.
People do get emotional about this.
And the emotional movement is the worst thing that you can do. That's why we started with making sure you know your time horizon, and making sure that you're focused on your long-term goals and consistently investing, and taking the emotion out of it, I think is why it's so powerful to have this discussion, because the more people know, the more they understand, especially the history of business cycles, that this global event will one day look like a blip, like we won't even remember. We probably remember, but we'll see it on the graph of the market. If history is any indication of the future, that we have good times ahead. But you have to keep the emotion out and keep your long-term goals in the forefront of your mind before you go selling things.
We're almost out of time. Alternative investments, right? You mentioned these things being, stocks being on sale right now. Are there some other things that should pop up on the radar for us?
And see, stocks, bonds, cash, those are your traditional investments. When I say asset allocation, we think mostly of stocks, bonds, and cash. But the alternative investments should always be a part of your portfolio. That would be things like real estate. And you may have art, and but they're for a more advanced. It's for an investor that understands. So what I encourage you now is to get an understanding of alternative investments. It even could be commodities. It could be precious metals. Get an understanding and understand the risk involved. But it could be a time to extend your investments into that area after you have an understanding of what they are.
Yeah, great insight.
Good stuff.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here, JB.
I miss.
I know, you feel like you're
I know. I keep reaching for you. Exactly.
Got that distance.
Indeed.
It's true. We're all feeling it. JB Bryan offers free weekly money seminars and webinars every Wednesday and Sunday. You'll find a link to all the information, WTBR.com/VTM.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.